Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a Q&A video. So I asked you guys for some questions. You did not disappoint, all the questions, and I'm so excited because a lot of them are personal questions and not necessarily directed towards, you know, my sticker shop or my mug shop. So I'm really excited to get into this Q&A. Hopefully you guys learn a little bit more about me, and if you have any other questions once the video is over, definitely leave them in the comments below and I'll do another Q&A video if you have any more questions for me. But let's hop into all the answers. How old were you when you became a Christian? So if you guys didn't know, I am a Christian. I am Pentecostal, if you want to get really technical, Assemblies of God, and I have been raised that way my entire life. Like, I was probably in the church nursery like the Sunday after I was born, if I'm being honest. Like, I've just always, that's all I've known. And I definitely went through a time where I was like, is this what I believe? You know, you have to like question things for yourself. Just because you were raised a certain way doesn't mean like that's what you have to believe. But I definitely went through all that and came to the conclusion that yes, this is in fact what I believe for my own personal reasons. I could go into stories of why I believe what I believe, but not in this video because we've got a lot of other questions to cover. But anyway, I've been in church my whole life. In terms of like when I actually accepted Jesus into my heart, I don't have like this story. Like, I don't really remember when that happened. I know I was like old enough to know, but like I don't know. I don't have like a moment where I was like, yeah, like I don't know. I know, like I said, I know I was old enough to make that decision on my own and nobody like forced me into it, but I don't really remember that exact moment, which is kind of sad. I was probably like 8 or 9, maybe a little bit older. I'm honestly not sure. But in terms of like how long I've been going to church, my entire life. What's your favorite hobby besides planning? This is actually funny because 2 different people asked this, and I don't look at planning as a hobby. To me, I look at planning as it's necessary, especially when, you know, running 2 businesses and a YouTube channel. So I don't really look at planning as a hobby, and I don't think I ever really have. I know all the planner people do, but like I personally don't look at it as like a hobby, so I wouldn't even say planning is my hobby. Other than planning, honestly, I'm not really sure, because anything that I would say is a hobby, I'm like doing. So like making mugs or making stickers, or not, I wouldn't even consider those things my hobby, but anything I like to do, I've just turned into a business somehow. Beyond that, I think people more just want to know what I like to do outside of my businesses. I like to play board games with friends. We have lots of game nights. I like to hang out with James, watch TV shows, watch movies, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I just kind of like to do all those things, go on vacations, go on adventures, stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. But in terms of hobbies, I think that's just such a hard question for me, because I can't really think of hobbies, because I'm not like a crafter. I don't consider myself to be a crafter. And so I'm like, what hobbies do I have? All right, this is a good question. If your new shop grows, would you stop your sticker shop? So I've been very back and forth with my sticker shop and where that fits into my life right now. And I really feel like there's been a couple times, even just this year, of me being like, that's it, I'm gonna close. I just don't enjoy doing this as much anymore. I'm just not passionate about it. And I've always said, like, if it's not making me happy anymore, then I'm not gonna do it. But then I kind of like will see like a glimmer of hope, and I'm like, okay, not yet. But if my other shop were to grow and I still love making stickers, I would like to keep that as long as possible. What that looks like in the future, I don't know. I don't know if that means, you know, having everything ready to ship. I don't know if, you know, if my other business gets to the point where it's like so crazy busy, if I hire somebody to kind of help me with, you know, both shops. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like in the future. As of right now, I can say I would like to keep them both open, but that may change in a month. You know, I feel like sometimes you love something and you like are holding on to it and you don't want to let it go. And then like the next month you wake up and you're like, okay, I feel at peace with this. It's time to let it go. So I honestly can't say for sure what would happen in the future. That's like a big if. But as of right now, today when I'm filming this, I feel like I want to just keep them both. I'm still enjoying my sticker shop for the most part, but I definitely go through my moments. And like I said, I could wake up in a month and be like, yeah, I just want to fully focus on my mug shop and t-shirts and all of that. So I don't know. That's a hard question because, you know, it depends on a lot of things. I don't know. It's a hard question to answer. As of right now, I'm keeping them both open, but we will see what happens in 2022. What are some new paleo meals that you are interested in trying / making? I'm terrible with meal planning, you guys. So I pretty much like find something and I kind of eat the same things over and over again. Right now, I've really been obsessed with the chili that we've made. I'll link the video somewhere if you guys want to see that recipe, but I honestly am terrible at coming up with meal plans, and we've been so busy that I've actually been relying on like quick and easy things a lot lately. So I've not really gotten into meal planning and looking up new recipes. I hope to get back on that because I need to get back on that, but honestly, I can't think of any new meals that like I'm interested in trying or making because I've tried all the things that I'm interested in right now, if that makes sense. But hopefully we'll get back on the straight and narrow with that. Switching to being paleo, what are some benefits you have noticed? Okay, so I've actually noticed a lot of benefits. One, I have lost weight. It's been slower than, you know, you'd like, but I have lost weight and I've been able to keep it off. So now when I have like weekends where I'm not following paleo as strictly, I don't really gain any weight, which is nice. Or if I do gain like a couple pounds, I'm able to get it off within a couple of days. So that's number one. But number two, I just have felt so much better. Like part of the reason why I switched to this was because I was just not feeling good. I like would eat stuff and my stomach would be upset. I would just not feel good. And so since switching, I've felt so much better. I felt like my anxiety, and I don't want to say depression because I don't feel like I struggle as much with that anymore. I definitely have had a history of that, but like right now in my life, the main thing is anxiety. And I will say, I feel like that has gotten so much better. Like this past winter, I felt like was a lot easier to deal with in terms of anxiety. I had other struggles where like I wasn't as excited about my business and like just kind of in a weird funk, but I wouldn't say that I was depressed or I was anxious. I felt very like calm. I just felt like I didn't want to be busy with work. I wanted to do other things. So I definitely have noticed that my skin has cleared up, and it's really funny because I think on this camera there's like a blurring effect, but when I was using my other camera, I would get comments about my skin. You guys know I don't wear makeup. I've been wearing makeup more, but I also rock the no makeup look. And with my other cameras, I was still getting comments about my skin and people wanting to see like my skincare routine, which I don't really have. Like I just have like a basic face wash and then I use coconut oil to moisturize. Like I don't do anything crazy. So I definitely think that changing up my eating really cleared up my skin, which even before that, I would get comments like in real life telling me how great my skin looked, but I always felt like it was really bad because I had like a lot of redness. But since switching, I have gotten even more comments on my skin and people wanting to know my secret. And my secret is that I like really cleaned up my diet. So yeah, those are just some of the benefits. I mean, there's probably like a ton more, but for me personally, like the biggest benefit was just that I feel so much better. And, you know, and it's people notice and people have like made comments even about like just my weight loss and, you know, like I said, my skin or just how much like happier I seem and like better, if that makes sense. Like I just, they can tell I feel better, if that's what I'm trying to say. Oh my gosh. Okay, what is your favorite store to find paleo-friendly meals? So we just used our local Lowe's Foods, which I think is like a North Carolina thing because I've lived in Tennessee, Connecticut, and Missouri, and I've never seen them there, but they're definitely here in North Carolina. They might be in Tennessee, I'm not sure. But anyway, my point is it's Lowe's the grocery store, not Lowe's the hardware store or whatever. So we go there. Sometimes I'll find stuff at Publix, and then there's a couple things that I order on Whole Foods just because I can't find them anywhere else, but mainly just my local grocery store. carries stuff. I've noticed since switching, they're starting to carry more and more things that are paleo, which is really nice, because one of the hardest parts in getting started is trying to figure out what you can eat. And so it's been really nice that my grocery store has started to carry more and more brands that I'm like, hey, like I can eat that. How do you stay motivated? So motivation is one of those weird things. I always hated when people said it's not about motivation, it's about, oh my gosh, I lost the word. It's not about motivation, it is about discipline. That's it, that's the word. I always got irritated with that because I'm like, but over the past like 6 months or so, I would definitely say, wow, it is more about discipline than it is about motivation. Sometimes you just have to make yourself do the things that you don't want to do. So I would definitely say it's been, my motivation / discipline has been a struggle the past couple months, and I think it's been noticeable if you've watched me for a while. I'm finally like starting to get back into it, but I don't know, I don't have like the greatest tips for motivation because I struggle. But I would say that in terms of like how I'm able to get stuff done is I plan stuff out. If my day's not planned out, it does not go according to plan, and then nothing gets done, and it's super frustrating. So I definitely have to have a plan in place. Like I have to be able to wake up and know, okay, this is what I'm doing today. So there's definitely that. And then, like I said, I just have to sometimes force myself and say, you're gonna do this today. I think right now, what's motivating me is I've got this new thing and I'm very excited about it. And so that's like pushing me to be more creative with that. In terms of my sticker shop, it's definitely come in more discipline than motivation because the motivation's not been there. So yeah, I don't know. That's such a hard question because I feel like I definitely struggle with motivation. So I'm maybe not the right person to ask that, but you know, you just, sometimes it's not a matter of being motivated. Sometimes it's just a matter of, this is what you're doing today, and you're gonna sit at that computer until it gets done. And I've literally had to do that so many times lately with just my sticker shop. I'm finally getting back into it, but it has taken being disciplined, not motivated to do that. Would you ever get a 9-to-5 job? So at this point in my life, I have no interest in doing that. Obviously, if our financial situation changed, if I needed to go get a 9-to-5 job to help support our family, then I would, but I just have no desire to do that ever again if I can avoid it. So it's really nice running my own businesses, being my own boss, just being able to do that. But like I said, if the situation ever changed, right now James's job is like, he has a really great job and he makes enough money that I don't even have to do my businesses and we would be fine. Obviously, we would have to cut out like unnecessary spending and stuff, but we would be fine. So yeah, if the situation ever changed where we wouldn't be fine and maybe my businesses weren't doing well or something, then I would go get a 9-to-5 job. But as it stands right now, that's not something that I ever want to have to do ever again. I just, not that there's anything wrong with that. I just really love what I'm doing, and I don't want to have to do that. And the beauty, like I said, the beauty is James like doesn't need me to, and we're not gonna have kids, so we're not gonna have that expense and that stress. Not that kids aren't great, but we just personally don't want to have our own kids. So I mean, it's not necessary for me to go get a 9-to-5 job right now. Again, I'm not like above that. If I need to go do that, obviously I would go do that, but there's just no reason for me to right now at this point in my life. So yeah, if you could travel anywhere right now, where would you go? Oh my goodness, guys, I would go to Hawaii because we've had a Hawaii vacation. It was a Hawaii cruise planned since 2018. It was supposed to happen in 2020. We all know how that went. And then it got rescheduled for 2022. And we were like, yes, we're finally gonna get to go. Well, we ended up canceling it because there's still a lot of restrictions, and we were like, if we're gonna pay this much money to go on vacation, we wanna be able to do it on our terms. We wanna be able to not be stressed out about the restrictions or stressed out about getting stuck somewhere. because of everything. And so we ended up canceling it, which was really, really heartbreaking. So unfortunately, we're not going on our Hawaii cruise that was scheduled in May, which is so sad. But I am hoping that we're going to be able to visit Hawaii maybe at the end of the year, just like fly over there and just enjoy Hawaii and not do a cruise necessarily, because my grandma really wants to go to Hawaii. She's never been, and it has been my life goal to get her there. And we finally were like, yes, there's a cruise there. We're gonna like go on this cruise, and then life, you know, which totally fine. I mean, I'm glad that like we're all being safe and like everything like that, but it was just heartbreaking that we once again had to cancel it. But I'm hopeful for the future that we will get there one day. But that's where I would go right now if I could go anywhere, either that or Disney World, because you guys know my love for Disney. So yeah. Would you someday share your sticker shop income or your mugs and t-shirts income? Why or why not? So I have talked about this in the past, but I've obviously like privated those videos, but I am not a fan of sharing money and financial stuff online for a couple of different reasons. One, I'm pretty old school. Like I was just raised that like you didn't do the stuff like that, but especially not online with like the world watching, you know what I mean? Two, because I think sometimes when you share that, while it can be helpful to people, I think it also can be harmful, because people, like, let's just say I don't make $1 million, but let's just say I made $1 million on stickers, okay? And so I'm saying, oh, I made $1 million this year on stickers. Somebody watching that could be really like encouraged, like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And then they go to start that and like they can't get any sales because it's, you know, I mean, it takes time. Businesses take time. They don't just blow up like right away. So what you're seeing is somebody who's been doing this for 7 years, say they made this much money, but you're not seeing like the years they weren't making that, you know, you're just seeing like, oh, right, like in 2022, I made $1 million, you know? So I never want to be that for somebody. Like, I think it's good to know the possibilities, but I don't think it's necessary. And like, I've never felt really inspired or encouraged when I've seen somebody talk about their, you know, how much money they've made. So I think it can a lot of times it can actually have the opposite effect of kind of being discouraging for people. So I just personally don't want to do that. And my channel is not based in, like, I share my business, but you guys know I've really tried to separate that on my channel. And even though I want to share my business and what I'm doing, the actual content in my channel is just me, my personal brand, I guess is what you would say. And it's not how to start a sticker shop anymore. It's not going to be how to start a mug shop. It's not going to be sharing all those things and trying to help people do that, because there's plenty of content online for that now. And I just want to focus more on a connection with people in general and not necessarily people coming, getting information and then leaving, if that makes sense. So I had fun doing that while I was doing that, but that's just not where I'm at in life right now. So yeah, I'm probably never gonna share money situations online. It's not for me. It's personally not for me. I know some people do it, and if you feel comfortable doing it, roll with it. Like, you know, but that's just not in the cards for my channel. Okay, what does your fam/friends think about y'all doing YouTube? I think this was more directed like James and I doing YouTube, but this actually isn't James's channel. So he kind of just makes cameos here and there. I've actually had this channel way longer than like I've been with James. So it's really my channel, and my family and friends are supportive of it. Like from day one, I was like, hey, I'm putting up YouTube videos. Like I started posting about it on my Facebook. So it's never been a secret. It's never been something I tried to hide from anybody. It was just like, this is what I'm doing. And they're all pretty supportive. I mean, some of them watch my videos, and you know, it's not a big deal. I think because I didn't try to hide it in the beginning. Like it's never been a big deal. Like it was just, oh, you make YouTube videos, cool, you know? And I think because I also started it once I was like way far out of high school, and I just didn't worry about people finding out, because it was just, it is what it is. Like, I'm just making YouTube videos. Okay, if you weren't a shop owner, what would you be doing? I'd probably still just be doing YouTube, because honestly, I was a nanny, and then once James and I got married, I had to move, and so I could no longer do that job. And he, like I've said before, he makes enough money that I don't even need to work. So he was just like, you stay home and figure out what you want to do. And so I really just wanted to make YouTube videos, and that's kind of how I stumbled into planning and the planner sticker community, and you know, the rest is history with that. But honestly, I just want to make YouTube videos. So that's probably what I'd be doing if I wasn't a shop owner. I'd probably just be making YouTube videos. All right, least favorite food. I don't know. I really like food, and I can't really think of anything that really sticks out that I'm just like, oh, I hate that so much. I would say tacos would be, I've grown to love tacos more now, but I can definitely say any Mexican food was like my least favorite for a very long time. My grandparents owned a Mexican restaurant, so we had a lot of Mexican food growing up, and I just got really burnt out on that. So I would have said that, but honestly, I've found a new love for tacos and Mexican food since switching my diet. But yeah, I can't really think of like my least favorite food. Favorite food, ice cream. We're just gonna have to go with ice cream. Can that be my favorite food? Because hands down, I love ice cream, and that has been the hardest part of switching my diet to paleo. It's been the hardest part, but I'm staying strong. But I do love ice cream. I love it. Favorite movie. My favorite movie is Jaws. I know that seems very weird, probably a little bizarre for people, but my favorite movie is Jaws. So fun fact, I actually walked down the aisle at my wedding to the Jaws theme song. Yeah. And I did have a video on my channel, but I've privated everything, but I did have that on video, and I still have that for me, for my memories. I don't know, maybe I'll unprivate some of my videos for you guys, but anyway, so I did walk down the aisle to that. I had a Jaws themed wedding cake. We walked out to a Star Wars song. It wasn't like the main theme song, but a Star Wars song. And then we also had like Star Wars cupcakes. And yeah, it was a very bizarre wedding, but honestly, it was like perfect for us. Exactly what I needed to have a wedding, because I never wanted to get married. So having a wedding was just like overwhelming to me, but we made it fun with the Jaws theme. And then my flower girl was actually my cousin's daughter, but she was a baby, and so they put her in this wagon, but they decorated it like it was a boat that had a shark bite out of it. So it was a lot of fun. Anyway, you weren't asking about that, but my favorite movie is Jaws. Are you afraid of spiders? Oh my gosh, yes, yes, and yes. I hate spiders. I would rather see a snake than a spider. So yeah, pretty much just like hate spiders. I'm like the meme where it's like when you see a spider, you just like set your house on fire and you start over. Me, my life. Toppings on your pizzas. If I'm cheating on paleo, I like pepperoni, pineapple, mushrooms, olives. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'll pretty much eat anything, but those are my favorites. Do your shops keep you busy all day? Yes, I actually have a like how I plan and how I organize all this, because not only do I have my shops, but I have my YouTube channel, and then just cleaning and taking care of life in general. So it gets a little busy around here, but I do have a video on how I plan all of that. That week was actually a little bit different because we were going to be gone on Friday, so it wasn't a true representation of my week, but it kind of just shares like how I put everything together for the week. But yes, my shops and my YouTube channel keep me busy, even on the weekends. Like I'm still doing stuff on the weekends, even though I didn't show that in the video, because like I said, we were out of town that weekend. Would you ever collab with another channel, not necessarily planning related? So no, probably not. Long time ago, I did collabs and stuff when I was like a makeup channel, and that was fine, but I feel like most of the time collabs are between people who aren't really friends. They don't really watch each other's videos, and it's just strictly like for business or to get subscribers. And I don't know. I never say never. It would have to be the right situation where it's like a friend and like a fun thing that we do or whatever. But like, honestly, I just don't see myself doing that, because I'm just not interested in using people to get ahead, you know? And I feel like most of the time that's what it is. Not all the time, but I definitely feel like in the past with my experience with it, that's what it was. And it just, it's just left a bad taste in my mouth with that. So I don't think that I would do that. Again, never say never. It would just have to be the right situation. All right, so the last question is, do you plan on expanding your shop and adding tumblers and stuff like that? Now, I'm not sure, because I know some people don't know that I now have a mug shop, or they're kind of just coming back to my channel and they're like, whoa, what's happening? So I have two shops, in case you were wondering. I have my sticker shop, which is Sticky Situations Co. And then I have my mug t-shirt shop. I don't have t-shirts in there yet, but I'm working on it. But that is Rachel Denise Design. So they're two completely separate businesses. They're not together like at all, two separate things. So with my sticker shop, I've kind of expanded as much as I want to in terms of the products that I'm adding and whatever. We have stickers, we have washi tape, we have notebooks, notepads, pins, all that kind of stuff. So it's basically at this point a full-on stationery shop for my website. Etsy just has stickers, but for my website, we have all those other things. And then for my mug shop, I literally just started like less than a month ago. So I want to master what I'm doing before adding a bunch of stuff into my shop. I think it's just good to get started and not try to do all the things at once, but I definitely just want to get a solid like grasp on what I'm doing in terms of mugs before I like go crazy with all the different things that I can do. So to answer that question, yes, I do want to expand eventually, but there's just like a lot of things that go into that. Obviously, I don't want to spend like a ton of money trying to do all the things and then be out that money. I want to do this business in a smart way where I'm perfecting my mugs, like I'm good with them, getting t-shirts in my shop, I'm good with that, and then expanding from there. Like maybe trying vinyl t-shirts as well as sublimation, or, you know, I did a like heat transfer paper shirt, and I was like, maybe I could do this, you know? So I definitely want to expand and grow that business. And I have lots of ideas and lots of dreams, but for now, I have mugs and I will be getting t-shirts very, very soon. And we're gonna go from there. And we're gonna see how this grows, because you never know when starting a business. It's a big risk, you know, you might not sell a thing. And so I wanna make sure that I'm being smart about this, so I'm not ruling out any of those things. I'm just saying right now, I just opened and I'm just, you know, I'm just having fun with what I'm doing, and I'm not gonna like expand too quickly, because I feel like that can be not great. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for sending in questions that were not just sticker shop, because it means a lot to me that you guys actually want to get to know me as a person and not me as a shop owner. So I really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit more about me. Like I said, if you have any other questions, if there's something you want to know about me, just leave it in the comments below, and I will do another Q&A very, very soon. But that is it for this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.